Hi, I'm Faith from the McAuliffe-Shepard Discovery Center. Thanks for joining me for part 4, the final part in my series of at-home science demonstrations about atmospheric pressure. Now, all the materials that I'm going to use for this demonstration should be familiar to you if you've watched the rest of the series. I have here an empty glass jar, a plastic jar full of tap water mixed with a fluorescent dye, so that's just water. That's a little bit easier for us to see. A stand, a lid for my glass jar, a hand pump, and an apparatus with a rubber stopper, a valve or tap, which can either be closed, allowing no air to flow through this piece of rubber tubing, or it can be open, which does allow air to flow through the tube. And then there's sort of a little clippy notch on the end of this rubber tubing, which allows us to attach it to the hand pump. So what I'm first going to do here is I'm going to seal off my glass bottle, my empty glass bottle, by putting the rubber stopper in there. And I'll use this lid to just really get a nice tight seal there. And I have verified that my nozzle is open, so air can flow through this piece of tubing. Now I will need to brace myself for this. I'm going to connect the notch in the end of my tubing to this hand pump. And I'm going to pump it, 15 or 20 times. And as we have seen in other demonstrations, and it does get harder to do as I go along, but as we've seen in other demonstrations, what this does, what this apparatus is allowing me to do, is pull air right out of the jar. I'm sucking air molecules through the gauge, through the nozzle, through the rubber tubing, out of the jar. I'll close my nozzle to seal that. So now I have a pressurized jar, a low pressure jar. I have a jar here with very low atmospheric pressure on the inside of it. So I will take this and insert it onto the stand, upside down. There we go. And remember, my nozzle is closed, so it's closing this off. We've got low air pressure here. And what you're going to see when I turn the nozzle is, well, let's see what happens when I turn the nozzle. Whoa! So what's happening is there is actually pressure from the water, and it is stronger than the low air pressure inside the bottle. And the pressure from the water is actually sort of overpowering the air pressure inside the bottle. So it's going to push up through the tube until this whole situation reaches equilibrium. So that was pretty magical, right? It went backwards, and it's all thanks to atmospheric pressure. I hope you've had a lot of fun with this series. I have. Keep your eyes on the McAuliffe-Shepard blog for more at-home learning activities in the near future, and be well.